everybody, Stuart here, and I am in my bedroom today because my fiance is in the living room on his Xbox. So I've been put to the bedroom for making videos. And it's really freezing in here because I put the heater off earlier because it was too hot, and then I forgot, and then I came in here, it was really freezing, so I put my house coat on because I'm honestly that cold. But anyway, so today's video, as you may have guessed by the title, is a book haul. So today we went uptown and we were looking at in all the charity shops because, well, you can honestly find some amazing stuff if you're lucky, if you go in on the right day or right time, you know. And I was checking out all the books as I always do, and there were deals on in pretty much every shop. One of them, it was like 5 books for £2.49. I'm sure it was £2.49. The other one was 2 books for £1 odd. Another place was 3 books for the price of 2, and then the last shop, the last book I bought, which is the one I'm going to show you first. Sorry if I'm wobbling, look at them on the bed, it's kind of unstable. But anyway, that was just £2 on its own, but that's because it is a huge book. So the first book is, I think it's like foreign, so I'd say like Michelle, because it's not Michael, it's not Michelle. So I say Michelle Faber or Faber. I butcher names, I'm sorry. Anyway, it's The Crimson Petal and the White, and it's huge. So this is, it just says here, step into Victorian London and meet our heroine Sugar, a young woman trying to drag herself up from the gutter any way she can, and a host of unforgettable characters that make up her world. And it sounded really interesting. I'm not generally someone who is into historic pieces, you know, I'm really not into historical pieces. Well, you know what I mean, like books, stories, whatever. But this one really, I don't know, it just sounds like it could be interesting. So yeah, that's book 1. Book 2 is I don't know if it's Cairo or Caro, but I'm going to say Cairo. So the Cairo Diaries by Maxim Chatham. So it's quite a large description here, but it says, British occupied Cairo, 1928. Several young children have disappeared and have since been found horribly mutilated in the tombs just outside the city. Panic is spreading among the locals after a cloaked giant is sighted. Has a ghoul from 1001 Nights been brought back to life? No, sorry, just brought to life. I'm adding words in. Brought to life. I've lost my place. Oh yeah, British Inspector Jeremy Matheson, yeah, follows the trail of the monster, which takes him into the depths of the underground Cairo, as well as deep into his own tortured past. Then it adds, Mont Saint Michael, 2005. Marion has taken refuge in the windswept and remote monastery located on a spit of island in the north coast of France. In the wake of a scandal caused by her own revelations, which is now can't say this word, reverberating. Every time I say it, I get so confused. Which is now reverberating throughout Paris. She has been brought to the monastery by Secret Service for her own protection. When she finds a diary dating from 1928 in the library, penned by Jeremy Matheson, she is inexorably. Oh my gods! Sorry, my brain's not working today. She is inexorably pulled into the past, but Marion is being watched, and taunting notes and riddles urge her to give back what is not hers. Again, I thought it was sounding interesting, especially for the fact that, like I said, there were deals on, so I really wanted to get the deals, and so I just kind of picked the best books that were available. And it doesn't sound like it's that bad. So I will be adding that to my TBR jar, as well as The Crimson Petal and the White. Next book is sticky because they put stickers on them and it bugs me. I'm not even going to pronounce this name, I'm not even going to try. Actually, I'm going to try. Mandasu Heller, I would say. Forget Me Not. So it says Manchester's Westley Lane is the hunting ground for a killer who leaves a tiny blue flower in the torn body of each victim after he kills her. Lisa Nuon or Nooney, not quite sure, 12 years old and wise beyond her years, lives too near to the lane, and her mother is a member of the oldest profession in the book. Their lives are far from perfect, but they will always have each other, or will they? And then it says, one night Benny arrives in Lisa's life, tall, dark, and the most gorgeous man she's ever seen. Benny is not all he seems. While Lisa savours true love, Benny wants more from her than she will ever know. So, sounded interesting. Yep. So that's the third book. Next book is Ripped, which I was really upset about. But it's Jonathan Stroud. Not quite sure how you would exactly pronounce that. It was the Amulet of Samarkand, I think is how you pronounce it. It's really cool because it's got that. Anyway, the Amulet of Samarkand. So it says here, a young magician's apprentice, Nathaniel, secretly summons the... my goodness, this is going to take me forever to read it. Summons the irascible 5,000-year-old Jinn Bartimus to do his bidding. The task for Bartimus, I'm going to call it that, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, is not an easy one. He must steal the powerful amulet from Samarkand. I think I'm saying it right, Samarkand, yeah, okay. From Simon Lovelace, a master magician of unrivaled ruthlessness and ambition. Before long, Bartimus and Nathaniel are caught up in a terrifying flood of magical intrigue, rebellion, and murder. Set in modern-day London, controlled by magicians, this hilarious best-selling thriller will enthrall readers of all ages. So yeah, I think I've noticed that most of the books I've bought are set in England, and one of them is actually set in Scotland. Is this a Scottish one? No, it's not. So this one's Destined to Play by Indigo Bloom. I feel like it's kind of copying a Twilight cover, this one is. Totally has a Twilight feel, and then in the back it's got the other ones in the series. Totally feels like it's a Twilight cover ripoff. But anyway, Destined to Play. When 37-year-old psychologist Dr. Alexandra Blake leaves her comfortable suburban existence to give a series of lectures, she meets up with Dr. Jeremy Quinn, the man who opened her eyes and body to the world in ways she never thought possible. After a few glasses of champagne in his luxurious hotel penthouse, he presents her with an extraordinary proposition. Alexandria knows that they would never promise each other something they can't commit to, and that he will challenge her every inhibition, but she soon finds herself seduced into a level of surrender and danger she could never have imagined. I really can't read out loud. When I read out loud, words honestly puzzle me, and I have to say them in my head before I can figure them out to say them out loud. So anyway, it also says here, Destined to Play is the first book in the Avalon trilogy, exploring the intricate relationships between trust and betrayal, desire and love, risk and reward. If you liked 50 Shades of Grey, you will love Destined to Play. Like I said, I really just didn't have a whole lot to choose from, and I wanted the deals, so I picked things that I thought looked interesting. So yeah, that was the next one. Here we go. here's the one set in Scotland. It's called The Black House by Peter May. And it says here, a brutal killing takes place on the Isle of Lewis, Scotland, a land of harsh beauty and inhabitants of deep-rooted faith. Really, seriously. The word inhabitants really just confused me when I was trying to read it out loud. Something wrong with my brain. And it says, a murder. Detective Inspector Finn MacLeod is sent from Edinburgh to investigate. For Lewis-born MacLeod, the case represents a journey both home and into his past. A secret. Something lurks within the close-knit island community, something sinister. A trap. As Finn investigates, old skeletons begin to surface, and soon he, the hunter, becomes the hunted. That's what I was reading, like, rabbits. So yeah, I thought it sounded quite interesting. And I actually didn't realise it was set in Scotland until I got home. Because I didn't actually read this one, like the description in the shop. It was just kind of one it looked. I kind of judged this one by its cover. It looked kind of dark, and so I picked it up. Anyway, next one is Stuart McBride, Birthdays for the Dead. 12 years, 12 dead girls, 13 will be unlucky for some. I think it's quite an interesting cover. Don't know why I kind of like it. I don't know if it's actually coming up, but it's actually an orange cover, not red. Anyway, it says, 5 years ago, his daughter Rebecca disappeared on eve of her 13th birthday. A year later, the first card arrived, homemade with a Polaroid stuck to the front. Rebecca is strapped to a chair, gagged and terrified. Every year, another card, each one worse than the last. Tabloids call him the birthday boy. He's been snatching girls for years, always just before their 13th birthday, killing them slowly, then torturing their families with his homemade cards. But Ash hasn't told anyone what really happened to Rebecca. They all think she ran away, because if anyone finds out, he'll be taken off the investigation, and he's sacrificed too much to give up before his daughter's murderer gets what he deserves. And it says here, McBride is a damn good, fine writer. No one does dark and gritty like him. Peter James. Again, thought it sounded quite interesting. See? And this one I was really happy about. I can't believe I found it. But it's the first Hunger Games book, which I thought was awesome. I don't really think I need to read this out, do I? Everyone knows what it's about. But yeah, I was so happy when I read this. Boom! Found this. But yeah, I got that one on. And this one, which I actually found out my last mini book haul. I got those two books from Tesco, The Dark Witch and The Wolf from Winter. Well, Wolf from Winter is actually part of this series. I didn't even know this when I bought this book. It sounded good. But it's actually, The Wolf from Winter is actually the 13th book in the series, so now I've got to go get the other books. And I picked this up today, which turns out to be the first book in the series. So yeah, I was meant to buy this book. So it just says here, the travelling man is on the move. Few will survive the journey. Former New York detective Charlie Parker is a man shattered by the brutal killings of his wife and child. The travelling man is an artist of death, making human bodies his canvas and taking faces as his prize. Now another girl is missing. So yeah, this is book one in the Charlie Parker thriller series thing. So, yeah. I honestly did not even realise this when I bought this in the shop. I just thought it was John Connolly, and I knew it was the same author. And I thought, I've heard good things about him. And, I mean, it says it right there. Charlie Parker thriller. And I know the other one is a Charlie Parker thriller, but I didn't even really notice that. I just thought it sounded interesting, so I picked it up and then realised it was actually part of the series I already have. But like I said, the Wolf in Winter is like 13th in the series, so now I've got to go find the other 11. So I got this one, so I've got 11 left to find. And then there's a couple after the Wolf in Winter. But at least I'll be able to read this one first and know if I feel like it's going to be worth getting the rest of them. But anyway, yes. So that's all the ones I've not. Find the other two. This one I think is actually a children's book. I honestly think it is. It says here it's got reviews from children, and it says get your parents to read this bit. So I honestly think it's from James Patterson and Gabriel Charbonnet or whatever. It's Witch and Wizard. Again, I was just kind of trying to find stuff that I thought sounded interesting because I did want the deals that were on. And children's book or not, it does actually sound quite interesting. So it says here, this is an amazing adventure of wit and wisdom all good. Brother and sister who were torn free from their family in the middle of the night, slammed into prison and accused of being a witch and wizard by the evil regime, the New Order. Can they master their newly discovered powers in time to save themselves, their parents, and maybe the world? So, yeah, it's definitely a children's book. But, hey. That's okay. As long as it's a good story, it really doesn't matter if it was meant for children or not. Try to see how long it is, but something. But yeah. So there we go. That's this one. Then this is the last one I bought. It's Jane Ann Krentz, writing as Stephanie James, The Devil to Pay, Collector's Edition. So it just says here, Dangerous Games. Just as Emelina Stratton was about to break into an empty beach cottage, a man materialised out of the fog with a Doberman at his heel. Julian Coulter was quietly lethal, a man who exuded an aura of command and a potent sensuality. But Emmy was desperate, and Julian could help her for a price. Emmy was confident she could pay no matter what he charged until Julian called in her IOU. What was she to do when he demanded her as his reward? It's a really small book. I mean, it's only... Okay, it's actually bigger than I thought. It's actually not much smaller than my book. It doesn't seem that big though. Maybe it's because the pages are really thin. I don't know. But anyway. Or maybe just because it's like small and this way. I don't know. But yeah, it's like 218 pages, which actually isn't that bad. Again, thought it sounded interesting, and it was the best of what was there. So that was all the books that I got from Uptown. Ugh, it's almost 20 minutes long. This one is one of the ones I ordered from online. I was going to wait and show it all together, but I've got it here now, so I might as well. And that's Bloodlines by Michelle Mead. I've heard a lot about this book, and I thought I'd give it a go, because I've never read any of them. I can't even read that. The writing in the back, I can't even read it. One, because it's got one of these plastic covers on them. Yeah, it's got like a plastic dust cover thing. Sydney belongs to a secret group who dabble in magic and serve to bridge the world of humans and vampires. But when Sydney is torn from her bed in the middle of the night, she fears she's still being punished for her complicated alliance with... I can't pronounce that. What unfolds is far worse. The sister of Mordoi, Queen Lissa, is in mortal danger and goes into hiding. Now Sydney must act as her protector. The last thing Sydney wants is to be the cause of accused of sympathizing with vampires. Now she has to live with one. Okay, I'm not sure. I know that she writes the Vampire Academy books. Do I have to read the Vampire Academy first? Does anyone know that? If you know that, can you let me know? Because it sounds like it might. But I'm not sure. Anyway. So yeah, I got Bloodlines. I also... pretty sure, I can't actually remember, but I'm pretty sure I actually ordered the first book of the Vampire Academy series. So I will be getting that soon. Probably. The next few days. All my books should hopefully arrive in the mail. But yes, until then, that is all my books that I bought today. Now I've got to go reorganise my bookshelf. That's the only thing with getting books. Reorganising bookshelf each and every time. But anyway, this is already almost 22 minutes long. So I will say thank you for watching, and until my next video, I hope you have a wonderful day or night, whatever it is where you are. Goodbye.